Okay, so back into this.
So yeah, no, I'll leave that for another potential day, and I'll go to the tent.
Okay, are you gonna do anything else before you leave the trailer?
Is there anything else of interest that seems kind of weird? Did I pick up on any other smells? Kind of anything like that?
Roll a perception check. Nothing that you can tell.
So yeah. I'll skedaddle. Scamper off to the thing. Just so it doesn't look weird when I'm not there.
So where is Nero?
So one sec.
Oh, and I put the door back onto the hinges just so it doesn't look.
There we go. Okay. Nero is he is preparing kind of behind the there's a little like cove of trailers behind the tent in that little area, and he is just kind of like rummaging through some of his stuff. If you were, did you go into the tent or did you go around the back to see if you could find him?
No, I'm just asking in general because obviously I was by the games and stuff like that. And
then you wouldn't be able to see him.
Yeah, so I'm curious because as people are starting to plan, I understand that some people can't afford it. So I have an idea that I want to run by and see if it works with them. Okay,
so you kind of hunting around and saying, have you seen Nero?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if it wouldn't take you very long to suss out that he is behind the tent, like doing his pre-game show, basically.
Okay. So I approach him, and obviously I'm still in the form of a 10-year-old boy.
Okay.
And I come up and I kind of tug on his cloak or whatever he's got.
Okay. What can I do for you, little boy?
I have an idea. I think I could help you and we could help each other out. Oh, by the way, this is Otter.
So before you said that, there is a look of concern on his face. He does not like being approached by little children, propositioning him. But when you say that, like he calms his face. Yes, the geek. What can I do for you, Otter the geek?
Yes. Do you have a patron that you talk to that helps you out?
I do.
Okay. I have an idea, and I want to run it by you. So, I've noticed a lot of people are having, not a lot, but enough people are having a hard time kind of pay their way in to see the show. How about I pay for their way in, but they have to sign a thing saying, that they're going to be part of the VIP club or something like that. And I go, I understand most religions and patrons, this could be a contract for a soul or something like that. Would you be interested in writing up a contract? I have people sign it. I pay for their way in to get a little thing of popcorn and a candy. And
my little friend, I like the way that you think. Yes, come see me tomorrow morning, and we will discuss this contract.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. I'll see you tomorrow.
You have a bright future here at the carnival. I look forward to working with you.
This will be fun. This will be fun.
From inside the tent, you guys are inside the tent?
Yeah.
From inside the tent, you hear, without further ado, let's get on with the show. And you guys are sitting in there. You see Min standing in the middle. There's a couple of dancing lights like around him, and they like zoom out and kind of like go brighter. Inside this tent, it is dark. And you see a trapeze up high. And what is her name there? On this
Zara.
one? Zara.
What is that for?
Yep. And you see Zara in these long blue like silk veils like wrapped around her. Yeah. But there is like a trapeze like hanging in the middle, right? Like it's not like ready at a side. And she like kind of does a like step jump and like kind of just glides unnaturally far to this trapeze, grabs it with one hand, and then kind of like swings her body out to the other part. And it looks like by the time she got there, she did not have enough momentum, but something like propels her along until she brings it over to the other side, right? And then she busts into this high flying acrobatics show. At times she like does a flip above the bar, lets the bar swing all the way out and come back, like while she's almost just hovering there, like defying gravity. The silks like around her are just kind of like blowing in the wind, and she almost looks like she's a cloud, just kind of like hanging out in there. Like the little kids who are there are just like, oh, mommy, look at that. Like everybody is just amazed at like her ability to like seemingly defy gravity and air. And when it's all done, she like does a flip and just lands on the bar, right? And like from there, without really even moving, she just kind of like, and then flops down on her feet. Like just amazing acrobatics. The crowd goes wild. Are you going back into the tent?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the show.
Okay, so you kind of like peek your head in, and there's a section, like there's a back door, and then there's like a section to like block the light. Mm-hmm. So like you walk in the back door, there's like 2 flaps, then there's another little like staging room before like the larger room, and the ring is like about 40 feet in diameter, with the 2 poles on the outside holding up the tent. You guys they just let you in so you can see what's going on. And some of like, you get the sense that some of what is going to happen, you have already seen them practicing, right? So then Zara leaves to thunderous applause. You see what is his name again? I forgot his name. Elephant Boy. Yeah.
Oh,
Gizmet.
Yeah, Gizmet.
He comes in, and he is just kind of like walking in, like junk, 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 and he's introduced as Gizmet, the strongest and largest gnome. And he takes step, and just becomes ginormous. He is now not just taller than you, a good like 3 to 6 feet taller than you. The two elephants now coming in, like he starts walking, and you see like the elephants in right behind him. And by the time he takes like his third step, he picks up the elephants and carries them into the ring and sets them down, right? And then he so the elephants are there. I mean, he's basically brushing his head against the top of the tent, right? And like you see them kind of like the elephants are like dancing around his arms and legs as they're just kind of doing this like song and dance, right? Then like he kind of like the two elephants come in close, and he puts his hands together kind of like this, like he's gonna like squish him in the head, and then he shrinks back down, and there he is doing like a handstand on top of the trunks, right? And the elephants then kind of like stand up like this, and they let their ears flop down, and it looks like he is like standing on a flower because of the way that the ears are painted. Like artistically beautiful for what it is. And then the little elephant pixie is dressed in yellow and black, and he kind of like flies around, right? And then they all come down. The little elephant lands on his shoulder. They all bow. The elephants bow, and they walk themselves out. As they do, there were some like ropes and like some like harnesses kind of affixed to the ring itself. And as they're trotting out, you hear this like pulleys, and the pulleys pull in like a stage, so that you see the stage that the twins were practicing with. And now Lila has taken off her garb, and she's kind of dressed more like a I don't know, your standard magician's assistant kind of garb, right? And Remy has like stepped up his knife wielding game. He looks kind of like a knife bandit almost, with just like blades everywhere, right? And he's like throwing them up in the air, juggling them, and like every once in a while like throwing them like this, and like blades flying everywhere with the lights, like the lights showing. It almost looks like a dancing cloud of blades around him. You probably gather that he can probably hold his own in armed combat. Like you just see him and you're like, I probably don't want to get into a knife fight with this guy, right? Like he's literally got enough knives that he could probably kill everybody in this room 2 or 3 times over, right? But you don't see her like using any magic to like send them back. Like instead of like what you saw in the pre-show, you note that the blades are just kind of sticking there, and like she looks like she's almost bored, right? Like she's just like yawn, like done it 1,000 times. Like nothing, she knows nothing's going to happen to her. But that settles down. After some time,
where is everybody in the tent?
It's pretty dark. You want to see if you can find the other people?
Yeah.
Roll a perception check. Okay, you can see all of the performers, aside from Min. All of the performers are like they exit through the staging area, and then once the show has transitioned, they like you guys came up, you saw this, like they transition out to make room in the staging area, so that there's an active part of the stage for that activity. Min kind of stands like by that like door, ensuring that nothing nefarious is happening. Your companions, the two of you, like you stand out. You're huge. You're actually so huge you can't really sit in the stands. I'm just gonna, for narrative's sake, you're kind of in the front door and just kind of like to the right, and you're like in, but like closer to the back door, again on the right. Like you kind of went over there and picked a seat where you could see kind of more of the inner workings of what was going on, but still close to an exit. The two himbos, Mateo and Ezra, they're just kind of they're manning the front door. They're still looking shabby, but they've put on clothes. Like they're not, looking like proper himbos. Then you hear men say, "We are nearing the end of the show. Anyone who is uncomfortable with a little bit of a fright may want to leave now. Recommend that any families with small children take them from the tent as we are transitioning our show to the more darker side of magic." And there's a couple of families, they pick up their kids and they trot out like happily. The lights are kind of brought up as there's like this little transition time. Then are you can't, you're kind of like at the door or you're coming in?
So I was at the door and
so behind you while you're at the door, you see Vera coming in with like kind of all of her snakes like seem to be like under her, like she's like ushering them in, like she's talking to them and they're like slipping into like pockets in her clothing.
Okay. Like, are you the next part of the show? Because obviously I'm still looking like a little kid. Yeah.
Little boy, you're not supposed to be back here. Please go out there and find a seat. This next bit might be a little scary for you.
Can I sit up front? I really want to watch. You're a really pretty lady, and I want to watch.
Words said by men many a time.
So as a 10-year-old boy,
right? Well, little boy, if you think that you have the stomach for it, you can try, but I wouldn't recommend it. This could get pretty scary.
What if I have two stomachs? And I kind of laugh, and I'm like, but I kind of take off and I run and sit like the front row.
She does not know what to think.
I'll not her kid ultimately, so.
Right. So now, does she have like merch that she sells? You can get a doll with a snake or her figure?
We'll find out.
Okay.
Have I trundled into the tent yet?
Are you attempting to trundle into the tent?
I figured at this point, once I put the door back on the hinges, I make a beeline for the tent.
Okay, are you going to try to sneak out, or are you just going to walk out like nothing?
Presumably no one's outside, is there?
You don't know, as you can't see.
Maybe I take a little peek out the door before I exit.
Give me a perception check.
20. Not 16 plus 4.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
So looking out carefully, you can see that from this angle, you can see that there are some, like the activities that are happening behind the big top, but there doesn't seem to be anybody like nearby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So if you're quick, you could probably get down and make it look like you didn't come from inside.
I will do that then.
Okay. Give me a stealth check. While you're working on that.
Yeah.
So the activity starts to settle down.
15.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get down.
Yeah.
You managed to get down. Remy sees you. Like,
who's Remy again?
he's one of the twins.
Oh, okay.
he sees you, but like it doesn't seem like he gives you any kind of a look.
Okay.
Also, Larry, your secret has been exposed to me.
Oh, damn it. You would have found it out soon enough. The curse on the weapon. I accidentally printed off the curse for her and didn't redact it. Does that answers your question
Yes.
about the yes?
I know all now.
Shoot. So
Retract that from your memory.
yep. The back inside the big top, as you are now trundling your way in, you see Nero kind of getting ready, right? Like mostly he's like just kind of like adjusting his clothes.
Mm.
You see him kind of sneering at some of the other people, like, kind of just being a bit of a yeah. And as you kind of like round the corner, you hear from inside, Vera the Viper, ladies and gentlemen. And she slithers in. And as she does, she like in a way like hops up on the tip of her tail like this. And you see her go like this. And the snakes just pour out of her arms. Very much like the spiders that had come out of you. But now they're like fill the whole arena, or the whole like sphere, and she like pretends to do what would be like water magic, but with snakes, right? Like she like lifts them up like this, and they like kind of like form a little wave, and like you see them rolling around. Like there's a lot of snakes in there, like a lot, and it's hard to tell. Like when you looked at her, like. She seemed like a normal sized person, but like with all of these snakes in here, like you got to wonder, like, where did all these snakes come from? Like she didn't look like she had changed that much size, but like they just seem to keep coming out of her. As I almost spill my own beverage. Good thing I got these handy dandy cup holders. Yeah. But you know, she does this magic, and like they bring a like couple of like small rodents in and like toss them in.
Aww.
And like you see like these like all this, it just turns into like a bloodbath. Like and the sand there starts to turn red, right? Like it gets gory and disgusting. Like maybe not for you.
No, so Otter stands up and is cheering and goes, "Yay!"
The people around you are looking at you like in like
This is one messed up little boy.
yeah. Like yeah.
Where's this child's parents?
Well, and then Otter goes into something.
Like he would be roughly in your vicinity.
I'm not looking at him. I assume I can tell it's Otter from the outfit.
Maybe, yeah.
Are you still wearing like the mask and everything?
No, well, the mask disguises me, so I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I might be getting the weird looks then.
Yeah. So yeah, Otter goes into nothing short of a YMCA, but he's like V-E-I, and he's like dancing around to a very epic song, and he's like taking a feet.
That's almost kind of adorable.
Right?
Yeah.
Favorite thing is the kid is just like some weird stalker that's fun.
A couple people, like you can see they don't have the constitution for the display that's going on in front of them, and they like kind of get up and like walk out. I would say you, in just kind of your natural like perception, you like kind of look over and see Min, and like there's a little bit of a grin on his face, like seeing these people who can't handle it walk out, right? Then things kind of start to settle down, and like you see her like kind of like scoop up some snakes, and they just kind of like go into her almost. Like it's hard to see, like they're kind of like going into, it looks like into the clothing, but like disappearing. And then you see Nero like quietly and unceremoniously walk into the room, and Vera bows like this to Nero, and you see him like raise his hands and like do like a very quick motion like this, and you see her just disappear, like, but into two parts as they like this corpse appears to like filleted down the center of like a snake lady. And then you see him like start to mutter, and the whole center of the room turns into like these hands and tentacles rising up out of the ground. I need everyone to roll a wisdom check. Charisma check.
Charisma?
Yep.
FYI, he's trying to go
Yeah.
Dirty
I
20.
got a 12.
12.
9.
Okay. The three of you are afraid. You're probably a little turned on. And it is like the gates of hell has just opened up. It is a living nightmare of embodiment of.
What kind of carnival are you actually set this up with?
And you see him like they start throwing in like you see Krog and Glorn take a couple of sheep and like throw them into this pit, and you see the tentacles like grab it and like rip it apart, right? Like it is a just grotesque display of evil magic. A couple of adults are like, yeah, I can't do this, and they just, like they turn around and walk out. And Min is sitting there on the sidelines. Gentlemen, ladies, this is Nero the Nightmare. He comes to us from the darkest reaches of hell, and just kind of like lays it on super thick. It is roughly at this point in time that the sun has started to set. And Nero, like, eventually, like, some of the tentacles reach up and, like, snuff out the guiding lights, the little dancing lights. And then you see, like, this glow of, like, arcane magic coming out of the center. The blood that was there now has been, like, transcribed into, like, a rune around the center. And, like, you can see those runes lighting up. And Nero is now floating, and inside that, you can see what looks like the 9 hells, like an actual doorway into the 9 hells. And people start screaming and like getting up, and then all of a sudden, it all disappears, and Nero like comes back down to standing on his feet, and Min says, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's all a show. Please enjoy your evening. Thank you and come again." And they all walk out. What are you guys doing?
I am gonna mutter to myself that I don't touch this motherfucker.
Which one?
Yeah.
Any of them. The whole shebang.
Not half a shebang.
The whole shebang.
The whole
Yes.
shebang, okay.
Not one bang, the whole. I don't know, I guess maybe I'll trundle over to you. I mean, at this, do I see my companions?
I mean, you see like this weird cheering little boy. Yeah. But you see these two easily as the lights have come back up. And now there's some lanterns that you can see kind of like that have been like hooded.
Okay.
They're now showing.
I'm gonna walk over to Taylor. Did you see the whole show?
Yeah. What the hell was that? Literally, what the hell was that?
I don't know. I came in the end, and I
I
don't
mean,
like it.
honestly, we didn't. I mean, I'm sorry we did some acrobatics and some like that.
So you're happy you got it for free, guys.
Yeah, we were there. There's no offense to the performers. I'm sure they're all lovely people.
I mean, entrance is 2 copper, so it's not like.
Okay, it's not like
Saving
an
my
But
money.
yeah.
but
Still.
that said, like the room like total, you can probably fit like 50 head in there.
So
So
it's not that big.
yeah, I mean it's big enough, but it's not super huge, right? It's big enough to get the job done.
That's what you tell yourself. Sorry. Okay, yeah, no, I that's weird. I haven't seen. I'm just wondering what Natural was thinking when teaming us up with this.
Yeah, how does he know these guys? I don't know.
Do I know?
He had mentioned that like that Kenny is one of the people who helped him like when he was younger.
Okay,
Like he knew Kenny and Casey from before.
but like other than that, I don't really know much more. Other than okay,
I mean, you know that Kenny and Casey are trustworthy from land shows.
okay. So do I trust Kenny and Casey? But this, I don't know. No.
I don't know about Casey, but okay. It's probably an illusion. But it still feels like maybe stuff we should be dabbling with.
Yeah, I feel like it's a kind of a line in the sand that maybe we can be crossing.
Right. Well, I guess we're not doing it.
Well,
But,
it's true.
are
But
they going to invite somebody bad on this place if we're traveling with them?
yeah, and the whole like they want us to do stuff. I mean, I'm not 100%.
It's not the weirdest job I've taken, but it's definitely not bad.
Yeah.
Are them still in the center? Did
Oh no,
walk out?
they've left and
Okay.
like
So
the
it's just
lights have
basically
come
us.
up and
Okay.
yeah, you guys are kind of lingering here.
Okay. Are there
Um,
any other like stragglers from like?
I mean, there's one guy who's like passed out in the corner.
I guess I'll go over to the boy who's still like, kid, are your parents here? Are you okay?
I'm fine. That was the best show ever. I loved it. That Vera.
Yeah, I guess the snake thing was nice.
You need to go find your parents though.
Nope. And I'm all welcome to the jungle. I started doing the snake dance.
Oh, it's Otter. Is this Otter?
Oh, that makes that explains it if it's Otter. Otter?
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. You keep on.
Right. Right?
You're absolutely.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing. I'm all see ya. And I like start going back to where Vera is. In the back room.
Okay.
In the back room.
You gonna go say hi?
Uh-huh.
She's no longer in the back room.
Mhm.
She has.
What
She's
is
in
it?
hell now, I think.
She got split in two, dude. The tentacles came out of her.
Are you gonna ask around?
Yeah.
Nero says, she is back in Hervardo, looking to entertain customers.
Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know what that means. But I'm gonna go see.
For 10 gold, you can find out.
I have 10 minutes. No more welcome to jungle. She moving back.
And you're still in the body of a 10-year-old boy, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, well, we know what Otter and Clarice are going to be doing tonight.
Yeah, what about you and Auntie? You're still going to be tossing some kids around?
Yeah,
what
what
are
are
you
you-
gig now?
It looks like you're having fun.
I think I
what
saw
time
into
is
the
the-
smile.
What time does the carnival close? Like after so how long does it?
Oh,
go?
yeah.
You haven't asked anybody yet.
Okay, so I am maybe, and then I go out and I scan, and I'm like, are people still?
So most of the families have kind of filtered out.
Okay.
It is now like
This is getting late.
it's starting to get dark out. You do see a bunch of like, I don't know, let's say young adults and like older,
Maravelas.
yeah. It's the kind of the drunken late crowd,
Okay.
right? Like
That's fun. Kind of the midway crowd at the state fair
yes, like literally the midway crowd.
on a Friday night.
Yep.
Cool.
No, I'm going back to Legend.
Okay. I guess, what are you going to get up to?
It feels like it's been a long day, honestly. Might be also right. Turn in for the night.
Alright.
And maybe we should, as a group, figure out what we want to do for sticking with this,
This carnival.
Yeah.
Kenny and Casey. Are Kenny and Casey traveling with the carnival? Or did they just hook us up with the carnival?
They're traveling with the carnival.
Okay, they are with it. But we don't know where Kenny and Casey have gone off to at this point.
You've seen them kind of like hanging around some of the stands.
Okay.
It seems like they are training, like there are other folks who have just come and are like helping out.
Okay.
Locals that are looking for extra money.
Okay.
So Kenny and Casey are like
Take
kind of
care of it.
watching over those folks.
So you're gonna go back to the room. I kind of want to. I think I'm gonna trundle around the carnival a little bit more and see what I can see.
Okay.
Fact finding.
Otter, you're headed over to Devira's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nothing but potato.
Good accent.
You see that some of the like items that were out have been put away.
Like the knives and stuff.
No, like the prizes and some of the like goodies.
Oh, like the bears and shit.
Yeah, they have rotated them to be of a slightly more adult variety.
Are we talking dildos or are we talking like knives?
like Bad Dragon instead of Sex Dragon.
Yeah.
It's hot.
You want to pack that door up with it?
Sorry, no, you
Either we roast or she's cold. Oh god.
I'll learn longer sleep next time.
don't. Crack it a little bit.
You okay?
Yeah,
Want me
we're-
to move?
No, it'll cool down.
Maybe next week we can just have the door open. It'll be pleasant.
Hopefully, yeah.
No. All right. So more adult things like airplane bottles of liquor and
There are like
syringes.
yeah. No. You do see some paraphernalia for like maybe smoking like tobacco kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's
What about band mirrors?
alas, there are not very many band mirrors. No.
Hat Minotaur? Does someone dry? Any of those?
Can't say that they're they're not very common in this part of Eldothra.
Okay.
So chances of them having them are slim.
Okay.
But you can look. You can certainly try.
Okay, so I see them switching out to more of an adult.
Yeah, like the little teddy bears are getting put away, and they're bringing out like hearts, like little heart placards and things where like you can like cast a spell on people, kind of a deal,
like a
right?
love potion?
Yeah, like
Okay.
it is a little bit more. I mean, it's not like pure BDSM kind of stuff, but it's a little bit more on the adult side,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of the games. What else can I wonder?
You do have a couple of people, like a couple of adults who are like buying up some of the like leftover stuff from the earlier in the day.
Okay.
They're getting specifically the Starlight Sip, which you see them purchasing it. Like it's just Starlight Sip is all that they're saying that it is, and like a couple of like these younger adults are like drinking it
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of just wandering off into the woods, like talking to themselves, right? It's there's probably something in it that is, gives you vision. Yeah, mild hallucinogen.
Okay.
But yeah, it has gotten a little bit more dark. The some of the shops like closed down. You can see Kenny like finishing closing up his shop.
Okay.
He's just not into the night aspect.
Okay.
KC, on the other hand, seems to have lit up, and he is in rare form, calling people over, trying to swindle them out of their hard-earned coin.
Okay.
The twins are now like out. Lila is kind of sitting at a like tent.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see enough of what's going on in the tent to understand that she's like doing fortune telling,
Okay.
right? Remy is kind of sitting outside the door.
Can I have my fortune read?
You can.
I want to do that. Just for chicken.
Okay.
What do you want me to roll?
So you walk up. How can I help you?
I want my fortune read.
Oh, sure.
Please.
Let's have one copper.
Yeah.
Okay, sit down. Give me your palms.
Hey,
Even my claws. Tippy tappies.
Well, I'm you see, let's do this a different way. And she pulls out some tarot cards. Cut these cards. She. Let's see here. What are we doing? I'm gonna need some dices. I should have brought some tarot cards.
I'm just kind of a little insulted that she didn't want to read my tippy tappies.
oh,
Okay.
I feel like this is a tarot, like interpreting like a bone with a TV.
She says, this first one, this is the present. You are on a journey. This next one is the future. And this one is the I don't know enough about tarot to be able to make this up on my own. So we're gonna make up a tarot system here on the fly.
Yeah, it's own tarot system.
This card represents the danger that is ahead of you, but yet there is still hope. And this card represents the way for you to proceed, which is, she flips it over, and it is it is like the picture of two mountains with like a road right down the middle.
Okay.
But then there's like two little roads that kind of go up into the mountains, right? And it says, and you see that if it had been turned around, like the way that it's drawn.
So is it up? Is it the mountains upright or are they upside down?
The way, so from where you're sitting,
Yeah.
it looks like the mountains are upright.
Okay. But from her perspective, they would be upside down.
Yes.
Okay.
But she's like interpreting it the way you're sitting.
Okay, so
That makes sense.
as they land towards me is the way she's interpreting it?
Yes.
Okay.
But you understand that if it had been like reversed, it
Yeah.
would actually look like going underground almost. Like
Okay.
it's this weird illusion kind of card. The way to proceed is the way through the middle
Okay.
for the greatest safety.
Okay.
I hope this finds you well.
Sure.
You're new here, right? You've signed on with us?
Yeah, more or less.
How did you like the show?
It was different. It's different.
Oh, that's how we make money.
Yep, I can see that.
It's not much, but it's a life.
How long have you been doing
She kind of looks out past you to see if there's anybody in line. There isn't. I've been doing this now for about 3 or 4 years.
this? You like it?
It's a living,
Can you even tell me more?
of course.
Okay.
We're not contractually obligated to be here.
So you like it enough to stay?
I like to travel. I like to see different places and interact with strange people.
Mhm. Have you seen anything that would give you concern?
I mean, the world's a dangerous place. There's
You know what I mean.
thing for concern everywhere.
But within the confines of it.
Oh, we look out for our own. If you're here, you're safe.
Okay.
You see, and she kind of looks past you, and you can see, like, looking out, like you can see the elephants in the central courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
You see those elephants out there?
Mm-hmm.
About 1.5 years ago, Gemzit freed them from a local quarry at one of the places that we stopped.
Okay.
We've been ensuring that, as a family, those 2 elephants stay with us. They are now part of the family. And Gertrude and Balthazar they're here to stay with us. They help us set up the tents. They help us move the caravan. They're a part of us.
Were they happier here than were they in the quarry? It seems like they're still doing work.
Gemzit seems to say that they're happy. They certainly seem pretty jovial. You spent time with them today. Did they seem sad to you?
Not that I could see.
I mean, they're in the time that you spent with them, they're playful. Like, you see them, like,
They seem happy enough.
yeah, they're like schnozzing you, like in weird places. You're like, you haven't ever had a schnoz there before, but like you can see, like, in their eyes, like it is not like that curious thing. It's like they know that they shouldn't stick their nose there, but they're doing it. They're, yeah.
Okay, well, so they are enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Very elephants. Okay, I mean, cool, I guess. Cool, thank you. I'll move on. I'll go back to my.
Oh, I look forward to talking with you while we're traveling.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go out.
Vera. So,
Hopefully your son is a lot more than tarot card reading.
you're still in the guise of a little boy, little 10-year-old boy. Okay. You head over to the Vardo, and outside the Vardo, you see Nero standing there, as well as Glorn. He's the one wearing the battle gear. You see a naked woman standing there on the balcony, kind of like calling men over. I don't believe that you had come across Nala before, but this is Nala, the nymph, and you can see that now. Like, there's kind of like a little like banner there, where she's like there's outside the Vardo, there's like 2 little spots for people to stand, and you didn't see like the banner like there before when Vera was like draping the snakes around there, but like now you can see that there's 2 people available, like at this particular location. And just kind of based on like what you understand of like the size of this thing, there's probably enough room inside this caravan for like 2 rooms, right? And Nala is flirting with the gentlemen who are walking by and attempting to make her coin. Glorn is there to ensure that nobody gets too handsy and doesn't pay up, and you kind of get the gist that that is Nero's role as well. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm still doing my snake dance.
Just dancing over.
Exactly.
Shimmy, shimmy.
Yeah, like Beetlejuice style is just going to the...
Oh, the strip club, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm doing that kind of thing.
Well, you're still in guys with a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah. But
You get to the base of the stairs with your little snake dance, and Glorn puts down his war mace, like out in front of you, and says, "What are you doing?"
before we talk to Vera.
Vera's not available right now. Aren't you a little too young for ladies of the night?
Afternoon, evening, doesn't matter. I just want to talk to her.
Fuck off.
So these 10 gold aren't going to help out?
Too young. Fuck off.
15 gold.
Too young. Fuck off.
Yeah? And I look at Nero, because I talked to him. And
He starts to giggle. He knows who you are.
Mhm.
He's just keeping his mouth shut. He wants to see this play out.
Right. And I'm like, well, how old do you think I am?
Not old enough. Fuck off.
Well, what about my sister? Can she do it?
No girls.
No?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's discriminatory.
Yeah. Well,
I thought this was supposed to be the nice guy.
He's got a job.
okay. Can I-
But also he's playing the role. Don't forget.
Sure. No, come on. I'm sure there's plenty of women who would enjoy the
Yeah.
sexy snake lady.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. And I'm like, well, come to the room. Come on.
You're shooting your actual rod.
He's like,
Vera does not like children. Go away.
I'm not a child.
Go away.
That's what a child does.
Exactly what the kid would say.
I'm old enough.
Okay. He reaches out to grab you
Mhm.
for 24 to attack.
He's gonna grab you.
Damn.
He picks you up, lifts you, and like there's a slight second of realization on his face as he realizes that he has
He's assaulting a 10-year-old boy, basically.
But you know,
that he has like grabbed something that wasn't what he was expecting to grab.
Oh.
no, that's
Okay.
part of the disguise thing.
You need to roll your attack on him for your armor, for being grappled.
Okay. Well, the thing is, now that my armor,
Because you've attuned, right?
yep.
Yep.
So you're gonna have to walk me through this new armor stuff, because this is pretty detaily. So I mean, my armor class is 18 now.
hmm
So
So he successfully grapples you.
Yep.
But while you're grappled, your armor, I believe, has a automatic response to being grappled.
yep, this armor senses hostile intent or danger, and does 1d6 magical piercing damage to anyone other than the attuned touching it.
That sounds fun.
Yep. All right. So what do you need me to roll?
Roll your d6.
D6. 4.
Okay. He takes 4 damage. You hear him like grunt, but he does not let go.
Okay, so at that time, how like, am I like face level with him now, or?
Oh yeah, he picked you up.
Okay, so at that point, I dropped the disguise,
Okay.
and so now he sees this, right?
Yep.
And
And he instantly drops you.
oh, okay, because I was going to do something in there, but
he there is kind of like Nero is now vocally chuckling, right? Like he's getting a kick out of this shit. Glorn is hard to read, but he looks, if it's possible, he looks slightly more pissed than he did before.
Right. So on that note, I flip back my mask, and am I old enough now for you?
Okay.
Larry wasn't expecting that.
I was not expecting that.
That's the first time I've ever done that.
Yes, I know it
I
is.
like it.
Oh, wait. So, you do that, and Glorn, Nala, and Nero all start to puke. And they just turn their heads and just retch. You keeping your mask off, or what are we doing
then I
here?
put it back down. And I'm like, is that a yes or a no?
Glorn can't talk right now because he's too busy hurling.
Yep. What does Nero do?
He's like trying to like wipe, but like he's kind of just staggering back. Yeah.
What does Nala do?
She puked over the edge, and has no, she like. I think the only way to explain it is like it's like when you look in the sun and you see like that like spot and it's in your eye. Like she's trying to like rub the image out of her eye. Like she's rubbing her face, but like trying to get like the image out of her thoughts, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, does this mean I can go in? And and at that point, Clarice starts singing along too.
While he's puking, Glorn manages to reach out and in the midst of puking, he says, "No," as more is coming out.
And I'm like, oh, okay, buddy, maybe another day. Does that sound good? And I come up, I'm like, okay, big buddy, you okay?
This is a giant ogre, like a giant, like massively, barbarian-looking ogre who you have basically crumpled to their knees with your true visage. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't want to have anything to do with you. He's not going to let you pass, but like everybody here is just like, yeah, we don't want to see that again. Like you could tell they're like taken aback.
Yeah. So I look at Gordon and I'm like, okay, buddy, we'll talk a little later. You feel better, okay? Then I go up to Nero.
He has this look on his face like, if you ever do that again, I will fucking end you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, feel better. Then I go over to Nero and I'm like, cool. Let's talk about that proposition tomorrow if you want.
Roll a persuasion check.
11.
We will see. It's tomorrow, yes.
Yeah, you have a good night.
Just shimmy off.
Yeah, shimmy away.
In the distance. Oh, wait, here. Let's do these. Here. Yeah, hand them down.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh.
6.
Okay. In the distance, 12, 8, 6. You hear a couple, like, you see, like, in the sky, because you're the only one outside right now, you see kind of this like twinkle of light kind of shimmer across the right side of your field of vision. You feel like kind of around the same time, like a little bit of a like jiggle in the ground, right? As well as like some other sound that you can't exactly place.
Oh. You want perception or something like that?
Yes.
20, 30, 20.
Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Didn't expect that,
Like,
did
okay.
You thinking about it a little bit harder. It sounds like a muffled sound of a sound that you have heard recently. In fact, you heard this similar sound yesterday
Okay.
when you were fighting the zombies.
Oh, okay. Good to know. So, is that the sound it makes when whatever like impacted them, or?
It sounds like just zombies moving.
Okay. Good to know. Like, that's not too good. Maybe I should go back and tell the others. You know, we can figure out what we're going to do as a group, or as the carnival, or what we got to do. So, I assuming our way back.
As you are walking towards the your as you're shimmying towards your
Accommodation.
yes, the sound starts like it is like one of those I think the only way to explain it is like maybe a sound on the wind. Like you can hear it. It's not very clear where it's coming from. Like it's just kind of like in the background, like almost like wind rustling through the grass kind of a sound. But the direction that you're walking, it seems to be louder in that direction.
That's not good.
What are you guys doing inside the...
I'm attuning.
You're attuning.
No, I've attuned to my.
You guys spent the time to attune, yes.
Carnival. I attune to only one thing at a time.
You can have 3 things. to do.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
you
means...
mean like a short rest?
Yeah, I think you can only do one per short
I
rest.
would pick one.
I just pick one.
Yeah.
You gotta pick one, yeah.
Yeah. I'll leave the mystery boost for later and do that.
Okay.
I guess I'm just chilling, thinking about. I'm not trustful of this whole shebang.
Okay.
I'm going to change my demon tender to the one uniform.
You're gonna need to read that more carefully.
I mean, it goes to pickaxe stuff, it goes to warp hammer, right?
You have to be a dwarf to make that happen. Or
I'm
have...
perceived as a dwarf.
Yeah, perceived as a dwarf.
Then I just look like one when I have it.
I don't believe that's... I don't think it makes you a dwarf. It says you have to be perceived as a dwarf.
And you are oh, okay. So if you're a dwarf where your strength exceeds 20, you're perceived as a dwarf. Is that what it means?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it meant that was just part of the rep. You're perceived as a dwarf. Alright. It kind of sucks, but well.
But you also have a way around that.
Perceived as a dwarf.
Perceived as a dwarf.
I mean, I'm like a 6 foot tall dude.
Yeah. But you also have a way around it.
Oh, shit.
So you can attune to the hammer, but you can't access the other capabilities without more.
Okay.
What time of night is it?
It is...
I mean, are we late?
I mean, it's just after dusk.
Oh, okay, so it's not super late, but. So you're tuning. I'm thinking about it. This is a little sham. I don't trust it.
Do I make it back to the front?
You're tuning him back to us.
Yep. As you get closer, you hear the sounds are getting louder, like a lot louder.
Are we hearing these sounds in our tent? If they're...
What is your passive perceptions? You're not in a tent. You're in a.
Oh, we're like in a room or like a tavern.
Yeah.
Thing?
You're in a caravan or a
Like a wagon.
wagon. Yeah.
Like 12 is mine.
Wait, what are we looking at?
Your passive perception.
Yeah.
10 plus your wisdom
Yeah.
mastery.
So I do 12.
12, 12, 12. Okay. You guys start to hear something as Otter is getting a little bit closer. It's starting to get louder. Like you're noticing that some of the other people around you, like are hearing it and like kind of like making a look. Like, what is that sound?
At that point, I break out into more of a full run.
And I would like everybody to roll initiative.